We're going to start timer when we hit start game. So we'll do that in 3, 2, 1, go. So you're this Indiana Jones type character exploring this pyramid. At the beginning there's just a cutscene here where we see some of the enemies there. And basically you're trying to collect these keys to unlock doors and just find your way through this pyramid. And it's Metroidvania, so you can sort of go wherever you want, but obviously there is a more optimal path that we're going to be trying to be taking here. And there's 2 different bosses. Yeah, so there is one on the Commodore 64, I believe this was a sequel to that, so it's not exactly the same game. I'm not an expert though, so who knows. But yeah, basically this game is pretty hard. Like, anything can kill you. If you fall from too high up, you die. If you hit fire, if you hit slime, if you hit enemies, everything can kill you. So this game is pretty dang hard. We got some conveyor belts here that sort of store your momentum. Oh, and there's a death there. So yeah, you can see even just falling from too high of a height can kill you. So yeah, we'll hope that we can limit the deaths here. You do get extra lives each time you get 10,000 points, so I will be picking up quite a bit of extra lives here. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that's not an indication of things to come. I actually did this, not to jinx myself, but I did this run for the Metroidvania marathon over the summer, and I actually game overed and sort of panicked and didn't know what to do. But luckily I've played the game a lot since then, and I don't think that will happen. But yeah, so we'll wait for this cycle here, do a little bit of backtracking, and yeah, we're just going through here. So we've been in this room before, but this time we're going to go to the left. And ooh, there's a cycle that you can make there. I jumped too late. I'm going to try it again right here, but basically, yeah, maybe I shouldn't try that. My timing's a little bit off there. There we go. So if you jump right when you enter the room, you can get down there and not die. And then if you're really fast, you can make it back onto the elevator. I'm obviously a little sketched out right now because I'm a little bit low on lives, but we'll... Thanks for the good luck, by the way. I know it's late. Yeah, this is on the Game Boy Color. So yeah, so you pick up swords as well as you're going through here that can be used to kill some of the enemies, but not others. For some reason, the swords, they can kill the rolling skulls and the spiders, but not the snakes. I don't know why the snakes are somehow impervious to swords, but whatever. We'll just go with it. So we got to pick up some keys here. Dodge enemies where we can. There's a tight cycle there. Didn't quite make it. And we are getting low on lives here. So luckily, so I didn't know this when I did my run back over the summer, but if you game over, it will give you a code, and you can just put that code, like the code is automatically put into the password section of the menu. So it's not the end of the world if I game over. It will add time, of course, but it's not a run-killing moment like I thought it was previously. So we've got some cycles here for these platforms. If we're fast, though, we can get up this ladder before that happens, or that becomes an issue, I guess. Okay, there is a game over. So obviously that was not part of the plan. Nerves just there a little bit, but we'll start back right here. We should still be within estimate. I gave a pretty generous estimate, so yeah. This game is hard, though. I haven't mentioned that, or I have mentioned that, but I will continue to mention that because it's pretty tricky. Yeah, basically the biggest time saves at this point just come from not dying. There are a few little things that I've picked up to save time. There's some death abuse later that we might use, depending on how many lives I have left. But yeah, it does sort of have a Spelunky feel to it. I can see that. Okay, that time I got the cycle there that I failed at last time. So that shield that I just picked up is an invincibility. It's nice because nothing can hit you, but you can still die to fire, you can still die to heights. It's not quite as useful as you'd think. And the second thing I have to mention here is that you only have 5 inventory slots. So right here I have to wait for the invincibility to wear off so I can pick up that key. Otherwise I just can't pick it up. And here I'm going to have to use one of my swords to kill one of those skulls so I can pick up this other key over here. So that is something you have to keep track of constantly, is inventory and how many slots you have. And yeah, that's just something you have to manage throughout the run. Here I made sure to have one sword so I could go right down into that spider. Otherwise you have to wait for a pretty long cycle. We do have quite a few lives at this point, so I'm going to use a death abuse here. What we're going to do is go out of the room to set that as our spawn point and then die right away. And this saves us from having to go all the way back up and back down. And I just realized we only have one life, so maybe that wasn't the smartest thing in the world. But we'll go with it. There's a faster cycle you can use in this room to get through those skeletons. If you jump at the right time, you can get through it without stopping. But I'm being a little bit safer here. Like I said, just because I'm low on lives, so we should be getting to the next password here. Yep, so we're safe now. If we game over, we'll reset right there. So there's 12 different passwords that we'll go through. I believe that was that the third one? Not quite keeping track. Here you can just go straight through. Those skeletons will never hit you as long as you don't stop. But yeah, this is a pretty short game. My PB is around 22 minutes. I think my estimate was 30. So we've got some buffer room here. Right here in this room, you just sort of keep going to the right. They won't get you. I'm picking up some extra gems. Every time you get 10,000 points, you get an extra life, and gems are worth 1,000. So 10 of those will get you an extra life. So I'm going to be picking up some extra ones along the way just to give me a few more lives here. We're going to have to be careful about that spider there. What we're going to, I guess, just overall objective to sort of talk about that. We're trying to get to the torch right now that will light up some of the darker areas. So there's areas that are dark, can't see unless you pick up the torch item. So that's where we're going for right now. And we've got the 3 keys to get to it, so we're basically there. What sucks about the torch though is it takes up one of your inventory slots. So for the rest of the game, you basically only have 4 inventory slots, which you'll see why we need inventory slots later when we get to the boss fights. Grab this invincibility here just for safety. So we go through some of these other enemies over here. And we'll work our way down into the darker levels of the pyramid here. I don't think we're quite at the point where it gets dark yet. So that platform cycle is super tight. I'm going to be extra cautious here, but it's really annoying to make. But our next password is right here, so we're safe again. Got a safe point. Yeah, there is a surprising amount of inventory management, and you'll actually see more of it later. There's even more important stuff here in a bit. There's actually one point where we want our inventory to be full because there's a key that we don't want to pick up, and if we pick it up, like, we'll basically just won't use it, and it'll just be hogging up an inventory slot. So there's a little bit of nuance to it. We've just picked up an invincibility that allows us to go through these lasers, but otherwise you have to wait a really long time to get through them all, because the cycles, you just have to go through them one by one and wait. So that was useful use of invincibility there. But main thing about this game is just, 1, not dying, because it's so hard, and 2, just trying to remember where to go. This is going to be a little bit interesting, so, okay. We got through it. Those archers can be really bad when they're facing you because they shoot arrows, and it's RNG as to whether the arrow is one that you need to jump over or duck under, and it's really hard to guess which one it's going to be. So you do not want to get in a position where an archer is facing you from far away because they will destroy you. I want to pick up an extra sword there. So that was the glimpse of our first boss there, Montezuma 1, as I refer to him. And basically what you have to do is, 1, we have to get a key to unlock the even path to get to him, and then 2, we need to each time you go around his head, you use up a sword, and that's like a hit on him. Here I'm just going to grab these gems because it's basically a free extra life. But yeah, we need to get 8 hits on his head. So there's one sort of glitch. I don't know if it's a glitch, but if you hit your head on the ceiling and then fall, the fall damage doesn't kill you. So that's what I used right there to get down there without taking a death there. It's used a couple places in the run, but yeah, hitting your head on the ceiling somehow cancels out the fall damage. So we're now up to our first boss here. We're going to get 3 hits in. This jump is surprisingly tricky. Like, it's easy to miss. So that was 3 hits. 4, 5. 3 more. And we'll go grab a key over here while we're grabbing those 3 more swords. So that was a nice cycle there. Oh really? That Montezuma bus is from the original? That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So yeah, the way he hurts you is he stomps, and if you're on the ground when he stomps, you actually die. Right there I leave the room to skip the cutscene of him sort of dying, and then the key just appears. So that's something I figured out that makes it go a little bit faster. You don't have to watch the cutscene of him disappearing and then the key being there. Alright, so now we are going... Right here we need to wait because, like I said, the archers when they're facing you are bad, and there's that one over to the right that would have just destroyed us. Wrong way there. Momentary lapse of judgment. Seems like the nerves are calming down a little bit now, so I'm not going to be dying as much, hopefully. But again, don't want to jinx myself. Again, I should probably just shut up. The nice thing is you get 5 extra lives after you beat the first Montezuma. Also, these laser cycles are a lot better when you're going to the right than you are to the left. When you're going to the right, you can just walk straight through after the first one disappears. Whoops, we need to go down. Barely missing that skull there. But down we go. Into the abyss. Jumping over some spiders. So we're doing a little bit of backtracking here. Now we're sort of going to go, again, this is that horrible platform cycle here, where you really just have barely enough, and I jumped it a little bit too early there, but you just have barely enough time to land on the platform and jump to the next vine. I have not purchased the new Retrothon Game Boy console. Looks interesting though. We narrowly dodged the arrow there from that archer. Luckily, right there, there's a... And so what just happened right there, sometimes there's just a random glitch where you can go over an item and it won't actually pick it up. So it's happens sometimes. Yeah, it is really easy to get turned around in this game. When I was first learning it, I got lost all the time. Luckily now I have a little bit more experience, so I know where everything is. But yeah, definitely takes some getting used to the route. Got some lasers there. Yes, lots of clones here for our Indiana Jones ripoff character. Ooh, almost hit that laser there. Forgot that was there. Nice jump there. Oops. And so there's so many ladders like that where some of them you go to the right, some of them you go to the left. Sometimes I get mixed up, but luckily that's not a huge time loss. But we're approaching our next password here. Pick up some invincibility. Yeah, the rooms definitely look the same. It gets really tricky. Forgot where I was for a second. So there is a room where I need to sort of kill an archer after getting invincibility. This is that room. So we need to kill that guy because we need 2 free inventory spaces. Because there's this key we need to pick up over here, and you can't pick it up without picking up that sword as well. Whoops. So right here, we pick up both the sword and the key. So I needed 2 free inventory spaces there. Yeah, Metroidvanias sometimes are just hard in general to figure out where you're going. Oh, so slime there. Slime starts to get more abundant as you go through. Can be annoying. Need to get low enough that we don't land on that conveyor belt there, but we're to our next password. Pick up some invincibility. Get through all these guys, no problem. This game does have a map. Of course, I'm not using it because it would be pretty slow to be checking my map constantly. Yeah, I don't know much about the map just because I've only really glanced at it, but I've never actually used it. But I believe like it shows you like what rooms you've been to before are a different color. Not super useful, but I guess that would probably be useful if you're playing the game casually. So there is a 100% category. I haven't run it yet, where you like basically get map completion. Go to all the different places. Yeah, so and then there's a main map where it's just like the big pyramid, and then there's also different like side rooms that have a few rooms that are on the map as well, so you can cycle through those different ones. And you've seen me, I think, up to this point, like going through different like cave entrances, and that takes you to the different side rooms. Oh, got a little bit impatient there, but that's okay. Seems like the deaths are becoming more rare, so that's good. I'll wait. Okay, we're gonna open this door here. Oh, and I just jumped down early. I'm gonna have to try to guess. Yeah. So those archers are just brutal if you are just running straight on them. I guessed right the first one to duck under that first one, but yeah, it's really hard to get past him. So we have to wait just until he turns around here to get him. Didn't quite remember that in time. But we're good. Plenty of lives. Okay, these lift elevators are interesting. It will actually lift you into the ceiling, and in this specific room, it will kill you, but there's actually one room where you can clip through the ceiling into the next room by taking one of those elevators all the way up and jumping. It's not useful, unfortunately, because I think that would be cool just to have a glitch like that be used in the runs, but it is a thing. Oops. So luckily there's an archer there, but we pick up an invincibility almost instantly, so not a factor. Get through this slime, no problem. And we got a key to get here. And this section can be a little bit tricky. Okay, we need to stay low enough that, oh, okay. But able to dodge it. It's nice when you're going the same direction as a conveyor belt because it'll just launch you. Maximum speed if you jump off of it. There's another one of those lifting platforms that the Aztecs were known for making. Okay, we're coming up on the part where I'm going to need a full inventory. So, right here. So we don't want that key. Oh gosh, but I died. Yeah, I mean, this is a good game. It's a hard game, but I'd say it's good. Yeah, so right there, we don't want that key, so we're going to make sure we have a full inventory so we don't grab it. Just more of the inventory management, and we are on to, if not our last password, our second to last password. We're approaching the end here. I'm making pretty good time, so let's This run has gone pretty well despite the game over early. But yeah, I think we'll still be plenty within estimate. So I need to wait for my invincibility to wear off there, and then use another sword to pick up this next key. And yeah, I think this is the second to last password. We got one more after this. Yeah, this is it has a pretty big map, and it's pretty big. So I mean, I've been going at this for 20 minutes non-stop, just going from room to room picking up keys, so it should at least give you a little bit of indication of the scale. And I've been repeating some rooms, but certainly not a lot of rooms. Like, a lot of these have been unique, even if they look sort of similar. So that spider never kills you if you jump off at the right time. Alrighty. So we're approaching the end here. We need to get 3 of... So there's different types of keys. There's these half circle ones, there's the circle ones, and the triangles. Now we need to get 3 of the half circle ones eventually. I don't know exactly if we're at that point yet, but it's funny, like I know where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do, but if you ask me to like big picture sort of describe like what I'm doing, I couldn't tell you because it's all just like memorization. Oh, okay, that was lucky that we didn't die there. These I'm just gonna wait for it to reset here. These platforms can be tricky. Okay. Oh, of course I jumped right before that one goes away there. Good timing. I have the whole map, or not the whole map, but the whole route memorized. Nowadays I don't go the wrong way. Like I know where I'm supposed to go. But when I was first starting out, I would mess up all the time. Yeah, so going the wrong way accidentally is not really a thing anymore. And yes, there is a map for the Game Boy Color version. That's the one that I'm playing. Or did you mean the other version? Okay, so now is the time when we need to get 3 of those half circle keys. I knew we were approaching that. So here's our second one right here. Oh, and I don't even know how that killed me. That must have just been barely high enough. Just goes to show you, this game is just really hard. I thought that was too high too. Okay, so that was another instance. Oh, my inventory is actually full. I was like, why isn't that grabbing? It's because my inventory is full. I guess I usually have one less sword at that point. Okay, we are just about to get to the final Montezuma boss. Final Montezuma boss takes 12 hits, so, and it's pretty, oh, okay. Got a little bit too close to the flames there. I'm not sure how that small flame makes them just spontaneously combust, but we'll take it. Okay, so if you wait too long in this room, like I did trying to mess around with grabbing the gem, and I'm going to grab these gems just because there's a lot of them and I want the extra life. Just in case. We're probably fine, but never be too careful in a marathon. But yeah, like I said, final Montezuma takes 12 hits. And it'll take pretty much every sword in the vicinity of Montezuma, so... Here is, so we'll grab that sword there, because we're going to need it. Grab that sword. We got one archer to sort of deal with here. We'll wait for him to turn around. And then go. There's an invincibility here, which is nice because there's a bunch of slime. And this is the final boss room. So we're just about to finish the game here. We need to jump when he stomps or else we will die. Just another jump. And while you're on vines and he stomps, you can see the screen shake, but it doesn't kill you. So pick up some more of these swords. So we've got 3 hits so far. Get another 3 in here. 2, 3. Okay. And now we're going to go farm some swords here, because we're going to need some more. There's 3 more. And I've actually lost count how many hits I have so far, but we'll just have to sort of wing it here. I know approximately. I know it'll be either 11 or 12 once we get through all the ones in this room, but okay, good there. And we'll just do this hit. The boss fights back, just that he stomps, so you see the screen shake. If I'm standing on the ground when the screen shakes like that, I will die. It will kill you. So that's how he fights back. I've been just jumping or being on a vine each time though, so I believe these are going to be the final 2 hits here. Again, I just jumped through 2 of them and it didn't pick up either. But we're coming up on time. We're going to be well within estimate. Like I said, I gave a generous estimate just because this game can be so brutal, but still 5 minutes or so within our PB here. Yeah, so when the screen shakes like that, that's him trying to fight back, but of course I'm on a vine, so it doesn't do anything. And there's our final hit, and we're going to exit the room so that the final cutscene plays quicker. And that is our beautiful completion screen there. Thank you for the GG. Congratulations, you have defeated King